Hello, everyone. Welcome to Barca News. It is January 31st, 2023, and the winter market has officially closed. Barcelona were able to manage a lot of deals in a market that was supposed to be a quiet one. Now, it seems that the club have missed the deadline to sign Julian Araujo. Also, Hector Bellerin has been offloaded. And finally, Joao Felix could be a possible signing for the summer of 2023. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello, everyone. My name is Mo. Welcome to the channel. As you might already know, I was traveling the past few days out of the country to attend a friend's wedding. I took my laptop with me, hoping to make a daily video bringing you the most up-to-date Barcelona news. But unfortunately, I was in a very rural area, if you may, or a very remote area, and the internet access was not good, so I wasn't able to upload a video Monday or Sunday. I do apologize for that, but I am back now home. I just landed only an hour ago, and I came straight home and decided to bring you this live video because so much happened today. There is no way I can wait until tomorrow because there's so much news to share from you from today, from yesterday, and from Sunday. So let's begin with the most up-to-date news, starting with that Real Madrid dropped points on Sunday, so now Barcelona are ahead of them with 5 points on top of La Liga table. So this is a very important lead, and hopefully we can keep it and we can keep growing it so we can win the championship at the end of the year. And speaking of Real Madrid, Barcelona drew Real Madrid in Copa del Rey semi-final, which will have two legs, starting with the first match at the Santiago Bernabeu on March 2nd, followed by the second leg of the semifinal, which will take place at the Camp Nou on April 5th. So we're going to have three back-to-back El Clásicos, starting with the Clásico in the Copa del Rey semifinal, then followed by a Clásico in La Liga, and then another El Clásico in Copa del Rey once again. So that's very exciting. We're going to see three more Clásicos. Hopefully Barcelona can win all of them, and they can move on to the final of the Copa del Rey, and they can extend that lead in La Liga. Now, I mentioned in my last video that Dembélé had been injured in the match against against Girona, and he was expected that he was going to be out for 3 weeks. And I told him that can change because he needed to undergo more medical exams. Well, it's now been confirmed that it looks like Dembélé could be out as long as 5 weeks, which is, of course, a big blow to the team given Dembélé's amazing performance in the last few matches. But nonetheless, it looks like he will be back for all the three El Clásico matches. So that's a very important thing. And this will be Rafinha's time to shine because Xavi thinks that Rafinha has lost the confidence, and this will be a good opportunity for him to gain that confidence, to get all that playing time. And hopefully we can see Rafinha start adapting, gaining his confidence, and doing well. Because even though I have said in the past that if Rafinha has improved, Barcelona should consider selling him, I do, after all, want him to succeed because he is a Barcelona player. And if he does succeed, then the entire team succeeds. So hopefully these 5 weeks that Dembélé will be out will give Rafinha enough time and confidence so he can begin to perform and begin to do well. Now on to the very important news that Gavi has been officially registered with La Liga. Now, I told you in last video that Barcelona had submitted Gavi's contract renewal to be registered with La Liga so he can begin earning as a first-team member, and he can get his number 6 jersey, which the club had set aside for him. But La Liga had rejected that registration, saying that Barcelona did not have enough space on their wage bill, even though Barcelona had consulted with economists, and those economists had told the club that with the departure of Gerard Piqué and Memphis Depay, that yes, the club did have enough time to enough space on their wage bill to register Gavi's contract renewal. Nonetheless, Javier Tebas once again putting an obstacle in Barcelona's way, said no. Barcelona used their judicial services or their attorneys to file a case in court, and the judge ruled in favor of Barcelona. So Barcelona were allowed to register Gavi's contract renewal, and Gavi is now officially a first-team player. He will start receiving a first-team salary, and he will be getting his number 6 jersey. And this, of course, did not sit well with Javier Tebas or with La Liga. They were very upset, and they actually released a statement about what Barcelona had done. There's nothing Javier Tebas or La Liga can do because, after all, the Spanish courts are above La Liga, and they have the final say. Now, this is not the only judicial loss that Javier Tebas suffered these past few days. The European tribunals have actually ruled in favor of the Super League, saying that no league or Champions League can punish any of the founding members of the Super League, because as I have told you before, the Super League, of course, was founded by 12 members, the biggest club from the Premier League, Serie A, and La Liga. However, the European Federation, they threatened that all the founders would be kicked out of the Champions League, so they all pulled out except for Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Juventus. And now these three remaining founders brought this case against the European tribunals, and the European tribunal said that neither FIFA nor UEFA can punish any founding member for starting a new competition. So this is a big win for the Super League, who will be able to proceed with their project, and Javier Tebas will not be able to do anything against Barcelona or Real Madrid for finding this league. Now, on to the news that Barcelona had a very hectic final day of a winter market, which closed officially today. And this was supposed to be a quiet winter market because Barcelona were told by La Liga that they weren't going to be able to make any signings. But nonetheless, they did sign a new player, and this player is Julian Araujo. Julian Araujo is a name that I mentioned in a previous video. He's a 21-year-old right back who was playing for the LA Galaxy in the MLS. He was born in the US, but he has Mexican citizenship. And Barcelona have signed him officially as a Barca Athletic player, since they knew that they weren't going to be able to register him as a first-team player. So he was signed as a Barca Athletic player for a fee around 4 million euros. It was initially thought that it was going to be a loan, but actually Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that this is not a loan. This is a permanent deal, and Julian Alvarez will be joining officially Barca Athletic, but he will definitely be alternating with the first team, with the plan that in the summer, when Barcelona clear enough space on their wage bill, they will make him a first-team player. Now, the bad news is that Barcelona had until midnight to submit the registration of Julian Alvarez, but La Liga have said that Barcelona submitted the registration of Julian Araujo, 1 minute late, 1 minute past midnight, and as such, La Liga have rejected the registration of Julian Araujo. And if this remains the same, that means he will not be able to play with Barcelona for the remainder of the season. Barcelona have said that tomorrow they will be appealing this decision with FIFA, and it will show that they indeed submitted all the paperwork on time. So this is definitely not over. So make sure you stay tuned to see what happens with this player, which I mentioned several weeks ago, maybe a few months ago. And when I mentioned it, I got a lot of messages saying that there was fake news, that I was spreading rumors. And this just shows that that's not what I do here. It's actually the reason why I started this channel was the total opposite of that, because I wanted to be kind of like the filter between what's real and what's fake. And I don't look to make any clickbaits. I don't look to spread any rumors. Everything I bring you, it's from the best sources, and it's the best kind of news that I can bring you, because I'm not here to lie to you or fool you. I'm only here to try to share with you the most important news about the club that we all love. Now, speaking of right-back players, Barcelona have confirmed that Hector Bellerin has been offloaded to Sporting Lisbon. Now, as I said in my previous video, Sporting Lisbon were set to lose their right-back player, Pedro Porro, to Tottenham Hotspur, and as such, they were interested in signing Hector Bellerin. And even though Hector Bellerin had initially said that he wanted to stay at the club until the end of the season so he can join Real Betis in the summer, which is his main objective. Since Real Betis were having a lot of financial problems with their fair play rules, then Hector Bellerin eventually decided to leave to Sporting Lisbon, and he only wanted to leave to a club where he knew he was going to be a starter. And since Sporting Lisbon promised him this, he agreed to join the Portuguese club. And Sporting Lisbon have paid Barcelona 1 million euro in a fixed transfer fee, plus 1 million euro in variable. So that's a 2 million euro income that Barcelona will generate, which is, of course, a great deal because Hector Bellerin did arrive for free at the club. So all of this will be pure profit. Plus, Barcelona will be able to remove his salary off their books. Now, Hector Bellerin was seen today in Portugal. He has already landed in there. He is undergoing the medical exams. And then his move is only pending the signature of the contracts, but everything is on track. And Hector Bellerin will become a Sporting Lisbon player. Now, that's not the only thing that Barcelona were able to do during the winter market. There was also a lot of players that were offered to them For example, Benjamin Pavard was offered to Barcelona during this winter transfer market. He's, of course, someone that Barcelona were hoping to sign in the summer for the right-back position, since he wants to leave Dortmund and doesn't want to renew his club with his contract with the Bundesliga club. But nonetheless, Barcelona were unable to finalize this transfer because of La Liga not allowing Barcelona to register any players. So Benjamin Pavard will not be coming to Barcelona in the winter transfer market. Now, another player that Barcelona attempted to sign during the final day of the market is Sofiane Amrabat, the 26-year-old Moroccan player that Barcelona were hoping to sign in the place of Sergio Busquets. And Barcelona had reached a personal agreement with the Moroccan midfielder, and they agreed on all the personal terms, but they couldn't agree with terms with neither his current club, the Fiorentina, or La Liga for the registration of the player. See, Barcelona were hoping to negotiate a loan for the remainder of the season with an option to buy, but Fiorentina did not want that. They wanted an obligation to buy. And had Barcelona negotiated that, then there would have been no way that La Liga would have accepted the registration of Sofiane Amrabat. And Barcelona did spend all day back and forth with La Liga trying to negotiate different ways that they could register the player, whether either just on loan or a loan with an option to buy or a loan with an obligation to buy or a permanent transfer. And La Liga said no to all the options. So Barcelona were not able to finalize the signing of Sofiane Amrabat, who was crazy about coming to the club. And in fact, he hadn't showed up to the training with Fiorentina. And Fiorentina were very upset about what the player did. Now, one bad news is that from this winter transfer market is it looks like Barcelona could end up missing out on the signing of Arnau Martinez. Now, Arnau Martinez, I've talked about him in the previous videos. He's a 19-year-old right back who currently plays for Girona. He came up through the Barcelona Academy. He's very familiar with the Barcelona style of play, and he wants to play for Barcelona. He's always said so. Barcelona were considering as an option for the right-back position, but it looks like during this winter transfer market, Atletico de Madrid were in very advanced talks with the player. They've made him several offers, and they're looking to reach a pre-agreement deal so he can sign for them in the summer. So unless Barcelona intervene at the last moment or show their interest in this young player, he could be going to the Madrid-based club. Now, speaking of Atletico de Madrid, it looks like Jordi Cruyff is considering signing Joao Felix. Now, Joao Felix is currently on loan with Chelsea until the end of the season. He doesn't want to go back to Atletico de Madrid. He has a very bad relationship with his coach, Diego Simeone. And as such, Barcelona are now considering signing Joao Felix in the summer, maybe on loan, maybe on permanent transfer, not sure. But as I've said before, Joan Laporta is a big fan of Joao Felix and would love to have him in the Barcelona squad. And since I told you in the last video that Atletico Madrid had informed Barcelona that they are interested in Ferran Torres, Barcelona could use the Ferran Torres card perhaps for a swap deal or some kind of transaction where Joao Felix could come to the club. Now, this is not a for sure thing, but Barcelona are definitely consider this, and this is a very real possibility. So stay in tune to see whether Joao Felix will be arriving at the club. Now, another player that it seems that Jordi Cruyff is considering very seriously in the summer is Mohamed Kudus, as the 22-year-old center midfielder who gained popularity in the World Cup because he had a really good World Cup, and he currently plays for Ajax. And it looks like Mohamed Kudus will be leaving Ajax for sure in the summer. And Jordi Cruyff wants to sign this player to be Sergio Busquets' replacement. But of course, it's all going to depend on how much Ajax are going to want for Kudus, because after all, it's rumored that they want around 45 million euros. And if that's the case, the signing is not going to happen because Barcelona cannot spend that much money. Now, the last news I will share with you is it looks like Manchester United wanted to offload Anthony Elanga, their 20-year-old winger, and they had offered to Barcelona all day, trying to negotiate with the club. But Barcelona were not interested, so this signing did not happen. So that's it pretty much for all the news. It was a very hectic day as far as the winter transfer market. I was traveling all day. I traveled for a total of 18 hours, but nonetheless, I was on top of all the news, try to condense all of it as much as possible to bring you all the news. But now that I'm back home, I will be going back to my normal videos, no more live videos. I'll bring you edited, well-put videos every day to keep you up to date on all the Barca news. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a like. Also, consider subscribing to it. And finally, leave a comment down below. Give me all your thoughts about all the news that I shared with you, and whether any of these signings or players that have left, was it a good idea or a bad idea? Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. And as always, peace, Barca.